question for Republican incumbent James Lankford. Do you support abortion or even gender selection abortion? Do you believe that life begins at conception?
Yes, I do believe that life begins at conception. That child has a unique DNA. That child has its own unique beating heart. The difference between that child at 10 weeks of pregnancy and 50 weeks, so they've been out of the womb for 10 weeks, is time and is size. And if this is an issue of they can't support themselves and so we should be able to kill them, then they can't support themselves at 5 weeks outside the womb. They can't support themselves at 10 weeks outside the womb. We deal with a lot of euphemisms. We don't call them a baby, we call them a fetus, or we call them tissue. But no one goes to a baby shower and it actually ends up being a fetus shower. No one goes to a tissue shower because there's a recognition that's a baby inside the womb. And that's a unique life that is there. So yes, I am very passionate about that. One of the bills that I was proud to be a co-sponsor of was one called PRINDA that dealt with sex selection abortions. That we hope would never occur as a nation, but that is looking inside the womb and saying that's a girl and we really wanted a boy and so we'll kill the girl and just keep trying until we have a boy. That's what happens in China. That should not be the nature of the United States of America. And while there's conversation about this being a slippery slope, I have a difficult time imagining a more slippery slope than for the child that has been aborted. This is uniquely a state issue though. The federal government took this away with Roe v. Wade and forced all states to take on a federal policy. At its best, this goes back to a state issue and allows state by state to be able to fight this through. And I can assure you I know which direction Oklahoma would go on that. Because we as a people understand that when we look inside the womb and we see the sonogram, we see a life that's there. And that's to be protected.
Same question to Democratic candidate Tom Gill. Do you support abortion and even gender selection abortion? Do you believe that life begins at conception?
I do not support abortion for sex selection. I do support Roe v. Wade and the right of women to control their own reproductive freedom. I do not support the Life Begins at Conception Act that was co-sponsored by Representative Lankford with Todd Aiken and Paul Ryan and others. I think that to not have an exception for rape and incest, it makes no sense to me if a woman or a girl is raped to force that woman or that girl to have that child. Makes no sense to me. And incest rape is basically the same thing. We've had Republican Senate candidates, Todd Aiken, talking about legitimate rape. Just a couple of days ago, the Murdoch, the candidate in Indiana for the Republican Party, was talking about that it was God's will if a woman was raped and got pregnant. Then he clarified and said, oh, it's only God's will that she got pregnant, not that she got raped. I mean, how can we get into those kinds of splitting of hairs? It's a woman's body. It's a woman's decision. It has health implications. It has economic implications for every woman that makes that decision, or every girl that makes that decision. It's a gut-wrenching decision under the best of circumstances. And if we really want limited government, if we really want individual freedom, then telling a woman or a girl what she's going to do with her own body, that the government is going to make intimate, personal decisions for her, that's authoritarianism. That's not freedom. That's limitation to the maximum. If you can tell a woman what to do in making those intimate, personal decisions, then where do you draw the line? And I agree with my two independent colleagues. They raised some really interesting slippery slope issues that I've not fully looked at, but I think they make some good points. So yes, Siri Bobcat, I do support a woman's right to choose.
This is Tom Guild, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Guild for Congress.